This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's Sweetheart, Davian. And
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
It's your man De'Shawn Sho Tyme, Watkins, whoa, and you are wrestling with entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show at Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., and it is a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with... Here's the owner of ComptonMania, De'Shawn Sho Tyme Watkins.
Hey, what's the deal with it, Big James?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm fantastic, man. I appreciate you guys for thinking about me, man. That's huge. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. This isn't our first time having ComptonMania on our radar. If you go back into our archives, the first ever Coleco Chronicles is of ComptonMania.
Wow. That's deep, man. That's wow.
And that being said, where is Sho Tyme? Where is the next Sho Tyme show-wise when it comes to ComptonMania?
Well, first, this Friday, February 16th, shout out to Dream Slam Wrestling. I will be commentating there this Friday. March 2nd and 3rd, ComptonMania is partnered up with GymWorks, Donkey Bongs TV. We did Mania weekend together. Our next show is March 2nd and 3rd. It's a 2-day festival. Name your price. That's going on the 2nd and 3rd. And then after that, I have another a week later, March 9th. With Innovative Culture and Irie and Tinks. And we have like a little festival. So March is really filling up, but the 2nd and the 3rd is when ComptonMania be back in action. March 3rd to be in specifics, where you'll get to see like 8 crazy heart pumping matches. So that's March 3rd. It starts from 1 till 11 o'clock, but we're in between that. So it's underground hip hop meets underground wrestling.
Oh yeah. And where can we find all things ComptonMania on social media as well?
You can go to YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, the X. Oh, and Rumble. I always fail to mention Rumble. ComptonMania is on Rumble. We don't have too many followers on there, but we are posting on Rumble as well. So yeah, we look out to and we look forward to interacting with the world, man, for sure.
Oh yeah. And I mean, like I said at the top of the show, you are the owner of ComptonMania. Can you tell us about your promotion, ComptonMania?
Wow. As a kid, of course, I was a fan of wrestling. Being in Compton too, the way I grew up, mom was from the streets, pops was from the streets. I was a street baby, basically. And I had some influences like my uncle who was autistic, we used to always watch wrestling together. Like I lost my father when I was 2 years old. So always looking for male influences, and my uncle was one of the first ones. I didn't even know my uncle was autistic until I got older, but my uncle was just like one of my heroes. You know, my uncle and my grandma, Charlotte Watkins. My uncle is resting in peace now, but since I was a little kid, man, me and my uncle would watch wrestling together, and between my grandma and my uncle Daryl, Charlotte Watkins, my grandma, and my uncle Daryl, they wrestling was always in front of me, and those are the ones that really like helped save my life. A host of other people, but starting ComptonMania in 2019, it started off as in August I did a comedy show because I started off doing comedy as well. I was like, the comedy show went well, but I just wanted to do a wrestling show in the backyard. Wasn't trying to impress nobody. Just wanted to do a backyard wrestling show, and I just wanted to commentate. And it wound up doing really well. And we had another show a couple of months later, and it was, we just tried something, and I wanted to mix my love for wrestling with my love for the city, because at that time, in 2019, I started to really like get involved in the community. So I wanted to mix Compton with how I loved wrestling, and you got ComptonMania from there, and yeah. Did I talk too much?
Oh,
Like
absolutely
what?
not. Hey,
Yeah.
nobody's listening to this to listen to me. I'm only asking the questions here.
James, I think you shutting yourself down. I'm pretty sure people know Wrestling with Entertainment. James is gonna ask the questions. Sure, nah.
Exactly. I'm asking the questions. People are tuning in to hear you talk.
Wow.
Now, you mentioned, you started in 2019. As
Hmm.
far as I know, you don't have any background in pro wrestling, so
No. Oh,
it was just kind of like a shotgun, you know, motion where you just started ComptonMania, no?
yeah. It's really weird because when I initially did it, I didn't even think of a wrestling community. I'm ignorant, like to that fact of that side of the world. I'm just a kid from Compton that was just like, yo, if I can get people together in my city, I think we could help make our city better, right? Because Compton, there's a lot of different things that we want to change, um, like communal stuff, like Compton. Like I think we how you say, okay, so say whatever city you live in, say like if a dumpster company come through, usually that dumpster company come from that city. But Compton, they contract other cities to come get their trash. So for us is we're looking for ways to try to make the city just, let's get to know our neighbors. Let's all root for each other. If you got a car wash, I'd rather go to your car wash because you're from the city. Like let me meet the people that's in the city so we can just really become a community again. Because too, also remember when COVID hit, it really got people in bubbles where people is like, hey, this is my stance, this is where I'm at. If you're not believing in what I'm believing, I don't even want to talk to you.
Right.
So I basically just wanted to create a space where everybody can come, and we can just become a community. Everybody doesn't agree, right?
Right.
We just work together so we can have better living situations. So for me, I just wanted to create a place where people can come together and gather and be safe, and when you put the creativity to it, and plus I feel like the city, I think it would benefit the city of Compton, because everybody thinks Compton is being gang banging, people selling drugs and people killing each other, but Compton is way more progressive than that. You do have that energy there, but there's so many different people that's in politics, that's in entertainment, that made like, did you know that George Bush stayed in Compton? like it's so much history in Compton that a lot of people don't know, because you just think about shoot 'em up, bang bang, but it's so many amazing people. And so I've been fortunate enough to meet a lot of these people. Like, give you an example, the godfather of hip hop, Lonzo, he discovered NWA. That's my OG. Like, I can call Lonzo right now and be like, hey, OG, I'm going through this. CT Fletcher, who's Compton's world's strongest man. Like, I can talk to him. I can call him. Like, these are some of the amazing names. I can go on and on, but people don't really know. Like, so it was just important to create a place where I could just show forth, like, hey, what we doing is pretty awesome, but check who else is awesome in this city. It's not as bad, man.
Now, between that stand-up show you did in August,
Hmm.
2 months later is when ComptonMania ran its first show.
Yeah.
So, how did, like, I know a lot of promoters, it takes them maybe upwards of 6 months to get
Yeah.
things together.
Hmm.
And that's, having a wrestling background. So how was you able to pull all of that together? And I mean, again, having no background in pro wrestling, how did you get, the wrestlers to come out for that show as well?
Oh man, see, look, James, you the MFing man. Okay, look here. So I had an amazing team. It started off with I'll say DNL did it. Okay, his name is Stevie Ward. Okay, but
Okay.
his name is DNL did it, right? And he's my older cousin. Um, he like, I would say, like, in 2012 we did a comedy show together. Like, he really believed in my craft. Like, he supported me, gave me like, just anything I wanted to do, he supported me. So when I did my first stand-up comedy special, he went in on me. He went in with me. Like, he paid half of the the spot to have it at the West Side Comedy Theater, the comedy show. Um, I produced my own comedy show, and I had stopped for a while, and then when I told him about the wrestling idea, he was like, "Show, I got you." So it was DNL did it. One of my best friends, Cameron Gregory, we call him Just Cam. Okay, he does all the editing. Um, as far as the work wise, it started with me and him. When we didn't even have wrestling, we had the idea, and then we had to try to convince people to come to freaking Compton. Hopefully they don't get shot, because this is the perception. You know what I mean? And we're in the backyard. It's not a real venue, so we did these silly videos, right? And then it was my lady, Tyra Bird, man. She's been huge, like, from helping me with writing my business plan, for just like uh just listening to the young dreamer talk about his dreams, and she just being right there solid for me. Like, I couldn't do this without my lady. And then also I have Sean Black, man, the urban juggernaut, straight out of Inglewood. This guy was doing amped up wrestling way before there ever was a ComptonMania. And if it wasn't for Sean is the guy who got the wrestlers. Sean got the wrestlers to come, and they worked literally for donations. Because literally, Sean, Sean Black, I mean, he does a lot of charity work as well. Like, he's been amazing. Anthony Desiree, who's also the voice of ComptonMania, he is the commentator as well. And Anthony Desiree has helped. Shiloh Greaves. We can go down the line. I had a team of people that came together. It definitely wasn't a one-man show. Um, and we came together for the greater good, because we all want the wrestling community to be better. We also want the regular community to be better. And we just know, like, through wrestling, there are so many people that have amazing relationships because of wrestling. So we just wanted to tie all those things together. And plus, the city of Compton, the new wrestling capital of the world. How do you think, like, doing the Compton Christmas parade? I'm sorry to fast forward. We did the Compton Christmas parade in December, and to be walking down the streets of Compton, and then to tell people, like, this is the new wrestling capital of the world. We started in my grandma's backyard, and just to see the joy it brought on people's faces, to be proud that they from MF and Compton. Like, that alone, nothing beats that. It felt like we won a Super Bowl or something, you know?
Right.
So it's so inspirational.
I mean, that begs the question: how much you paying grandma to use the backyard?
you know, my grandma, oh man, my grandma is such a jewel. Like, Nana, I mean, ever since I was a kid, because, you know, I lost my dad when I was 2. So my grandma she would tell me, Sean, you gotta face your fears, baby. Because I was afraid of everything, you know? My grandma enforced us to believe in our dreams. You know, my grandma challenged me, hey, you want to be an actor? You need to go to Hollywood. But being from Compton, you got to get on that blue line. So when you're getting on the blue line, you got to go through so many hoods, not just in Compton, but you got to go all through LA, and you got to deal with so many energies to go to where you got to go to. Then you got to come back, you know? And it was just a risk at the time that you thinking, I don't know if it's worth it. But my grandma, she pushed me. She pushed me. I come from a religious background too, you know. So Nana always pushed us, like, you know, you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. So she pushed us to go after our dreams. So that's what we did, you know.
And amen to that.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned Sean Black. You know, it's
Yeah.
good to hear that you had a good relationship with Sean back then, because it does seem like he hasn't necessarily liked you in the recent years, considering that he did attack you. No.
Oh yeah. Well, you see, it's what it is. You know how it is. You have a personal relationship with somebody. I mean, like he punched me in the face because he lost the title to Shiloh Greaves, which I don't agree with Shiloh tactics on getting the title. But, you know, Sean is no different from anybody else. Which is why, like, it sucked. I remember not being able to see because of light. I remember being a little concussed. But at the end of the day, I got a business to run, and I can't take anything personal. And I do understand one thing, that I don't agree with what Sean did, but at the same token, I can't take away Sean's contributions to ComptonMania as much as it is, because at the end of the day, he needs to learn how to deal with his emotions, but you can't just give up on certain people like that.
Was that your first wrestling bump?
Um, as far as being in front of people, yes. You know, yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Well, I was going to save this for a little bit later, but apparently
Yes.
all roads lead back to Shiloh.
Right.
A pretty much ComptonMania problem child, no?
Yes, I would agree. Shiloh is the definition of ignorance. The definition of ignorance. I mean, sometimes we don't want Compton Mania to happen every time, okay? And no matter if we're at church, no matter if we're in the stands at a graduation, we're going to the liquor store, whatever it is, Shiloh always want to bring ignorance, and you can't take ignorance everywhere.
Well, the thing that was maybe the most controversial thing that came out of ComptonMania was that he did cash in, a title
Mm,
opportunity, not against the male champion, but the female
right.
champion, Candy Girl.
Oh my God. I mean, that was shocking for all of us. I think that was really groundbreaking for ComptonMania because um we realized we needed somebody in charge. At that time we had Johnny Grow, who was acting as like a commissioner as of sort, as why while the committee is trying to put things together. And the thing was, you win the Seven Deadly Sins match, you get to cash in your title for any title, for any title. So we are thinking he's going after Manny Mars. But the crazy thing was, him and Manny Mars at the same time were really cool. But it would have been a great match. But to have him come out and really just put hands on Candy Girl like he did was truly shocking. Truly shocking.
I do know that Candy Girl was not necessarily happy about that, and I believe she even took you to task when she came on the ComptonMania show. No.
Yes, absolutely. James be knowing. This happened like 2 years ago. James know what's up. So yes, she was upset. That was so hard to deal with, which is why later that year we started the election. We started the election to see who was going to be mayor of Compton Mania. Because, I mean, listen, yes, I'm the guy that put it together. Yes, we got the LLC. Yes, but I'm a commentator. The day-to-day action, the day-to-day and how to run wrestling, you need someone who is in that world, somebody that came from that world, right? It would only substantiate, how important this thing is. You can't just have anybody there. And yeah, Candy Girl was not happy with that, nor should she have been.
Well, let's go a little bit further back. Candy
Okay.
Girl and Auntie Heidi, the first ever women's match for
Wow.
a ComptonMania. Can you tell us about your relationship with Candy Girl and Auntie Heidi?
Wow. You talking about two of the women who I have the utmost respect for. Um, Candy Girl, um, when you talk about a role model, somebody that don't just it's real. Candy Candy fights for that girl, for the underdog, for people that say you can't do this. She does it every single time. Candy Girl represents, even when things wasn't going her way, she was on a losing streak. Candy Girl still comes to fight. Candy Girl believes in being sweet when everything is sour. When you talking about integrity, when you talk about when things get tough, it doesn't rattle what she's going to do, because when she says something, she means it. Auntie Heidi in the same way, but in an alternate universe. Like, Auntie Heidi means everything that she says. And Auntie Heidi will make you pay if you ever disrespect her. And Auntie Heidi will fight anybody. And the cold part about it too, Auntie Heidi, when they say auntie, yo, auntie, listen, I tell people all the time, you try to get on my bad side if you want to. Auntie ain't gonna play no games. You feel what I'm saying? So
Yes.
when you talk about women that represented this brand, to do that in the city of Compton, to do that for the boys and girls that don't get to see stuff like this, man, it meant the world. Those two will always, forever, in ComptonMania's history, will always remain like two of the most dopest women ever. I love those. I love those women. I truly do.
Well, let's um let's swing back to right now. and your
Okay.
current ComptonMania champion, Paul London.
Paul. Paul, imagine this, James, right? You have this idea. The name Compton Mania. Like I gave you a grade, like, yeah, it's mixing Compton with Mania. But it started off from a joke. After the comedy show that we did, me and my buddy Just Cam, okay, we sitting in the car and we're talking about this comedy show and we're like, yo, we're gonna put on a wrestling show. He's like, how? How are we gonna do this? This is crazy. So while we talking about that, all of a sudden, imagine you hearing screeching tires, right? Now we are in Compton, okay? We're hearing screeching tires, and all of a sudden we both look at each other like, oh my God, is this a drive-by? Because we still don't even see the car, we just hear it. So we don't know if there's going to be bullets is coming up out of this thing. Like we have no clue. And it's an old lady in a red Corvette. She's like swerving, and she's not drunk. She's screaming out the window, "Vote, vote, vote!" So me and Just Cam, we look at each other, we bust up laughing. I said, "Boy, that's some ComptonMania shit for you right there." I thought for sure it was the end. I thought it was the end. And that's where the name came from, So, what was the question again? I lost it.
Paul London as the champion.
Okay, so yes. So imagine that. This is in Compton. So imagine 3 years later, you would have a former WWE champion representing your brand. Come on, James. This feel like this is a dream. And think about it too like this, James. Like I have no experience, right? I have experience around me though. I got the urban juggernaut, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't like, so for Paul to be involved, man, I never could have imagined that. Never. He's amazing, man. He is truly amazing. Don't always like his tactics, but man, he's a wrestling aficionado.
And you mentioned not liking his tactics, but I believe he is the first, WWE name that came into ComptonMania. And with that came the first ever steel cage match, I believe,
Oh
in
my God.
October. Can you tell us about having the first ever ComptonMania cage match?
Okay, James. Can I tell you the hell that happened leading up to that?
Oh, hell yeah.
So initially we were going to be in one of my guys' breweries. Shout out to Edgar from Beer Thug.
Right.
We were supposed to be in the brewery, and a couple of days before the show, like we already have the link up, come to the brewery, and he gets a call from City Hall that says, "Hey man, I hear y'all gonna have this event." So he had to renew his CUP license. It's called a cup license, but it's called certificate. I don't know what it's called, but basically you got to file for this. I think every so amount of time. So what happened was my man Edgar had just got that building from somebody else, so it already had a cup license. But when it's under new ownership, you got to go through the whole process over again.
Okay.
So he didn't know that. And so while we were getting the beers pressed up, because we had our ComptonMania beer too for the 4th year anniversary, he came in and he was like, "Hey guys, they'll shut me down if we do the show." So we had to change venues within a couple of days. That was one of the most stressful things. I promise you, I don't know what to do. but I'm like, yo, we're going to continue. We're going to try to make this happen. And then, as a young promoter too, you feeling that heat, because I hear a lot of stories about, oh, this promoter did this or this promoter did this, and and I'm talking to the team, what should we do? And shout out to my team. Shout out to Josh, Aaron Glass. Shout out to the other Josh who came through and brought lights because we wind up being outside. And shout out to Just Cam OK because we used his family's church. And we got the cage in order to just have a show. Like, we had to change so many different things. We had so many people at the community came together to help and make happen. So to be sitting there, imagine we calling the cage match. And like I'm excited about the cage, but I'm also like stressed out because a couple of matches before that match, one of our wrestlers landed on his neck.
Ooh.
And when you talk about like sitting there, it's hard to enjoy the event when you worried about one of your wrestlers and you're just like, we barely just got through this. And then also on top of that, James, I haven't told too many people this, but me and my lady had a miscarriage a couple of weeks before this happened.
So sorry for your loss.
Man, we appreciate you, man. We were going through it. When I say go, and then my car was broken down. Like, it was so hard. And then finally they set up the cage and they put on a banger. When to be able to sit there and watch that, oh my God. And for everything to come out the way it came out after everything that happened leading up to the event, man, James, that right there, that was one of the most hardest things to get through in life. I love that cage match, but that cage match to me represents something way different than what it means to everybody else. That cage match is like, woo, we barely made it by the skin of our teeth, man. That was terrifying. Terrifying.
Like when it's all said and done, when they're packing the ring, everybody went home. Is that kind of the okay, I could breathe now moment?
Yeah, I mean, we made sure we cleaned up the whole parking lot because that was a long night. We didn't get home till like 2 o'clock because we had to clean up and everything. I laid down for the next 2 or 3 days. I said, I'm not doing nothing. I didn't even. Honestly, I don't even think I took a bath. Swear to God, I was just like, God, how did we do this? Like really, I was in tears. I was emotional. I was drained. I was, because the family is still hurting too. Like we still got that. You want the kids to be. You want them to not even worry about certain things. You want them to just, hey, feel free, go for it. We got this. You my lady, she take care of her mom and her dad. I take care of my grandma too. So when we, all these different things that's happening, it's and also I got to give a shout out to Mama Way, Aiden Way's mom, man. She came through for us for that show. Like, she was one of the she was a huge well, how Bernie Sanders used to say it, huge supporter of ComptonMania. We couldn't have done this without her. And shout out to Mama Way. But yeah, after that, like, I didn't honestly, I was okay with shutting ComptonMania down for a whole year. I was drained.
Well, I wasn't personally at the event, but my co-host Kaliko Yachts was actually at.
Kaliko, what's the deal?
Yes, he's my co-host. So, he was at that event, and we talked about it afterwards, and he said it was an absolute blast. So,
Wow.
you did, as hellish as it was for you, you put on a great show for the fans that enjoyed it.
Thank you. And also, I'm so sorry too. Thank you so much, James. Thank you. Kaliko, right?
Yeah, Kaliko, yes. I believe
Thank you, Kaliko.
there's a video of him bowing down to Paul London saying, "We are not
Oh
ready."
yeah. Wow.
Yes.
Wow, yeah, that was a hell of a moment too. That was a hell of a moment too. Kaliko out here making the footage on the reel too. And also shout out to I gotta say, shout out to Cool Ass Cam. I got two cams on the team. We couldn't have done this without Cool Ass Cam as well. Juice and a host of other people. I'm so sorry, you know. But yeah.
Well, keeping on, people that make ComptonMania, we've talked about Paul London as the ComptonMania champion.
Mhm.
Mr. Pissoff made the belt, right?
Mr. Pissoff, yes, he's our belt guy. He goes and gets the belts made. Yeah, and a crazy story about Mr. Pissoff is he came to our third ever show. It was ComptonMania 3. We were in the forums in Compton where they ride horses and stuff. I swear it's like a Western on that side of town. And everybody got horses. So we were at this show and the guy shows up. He got all these belts and stuff like that. And he was super cool. He was like, what is this ComptonMania stuff? Because he from Compton too, obviously. But I found out DNL, my other cousin, who I started off doing comedy with, he said, hey, Mr. Pissoff, he's a Owens, you know, because from on my mom's side of the family, there's Owens, James, and Bender. Like, you know, that's our family. He was like, I think he's family. Come to find out, Mr. Pissoff is like a distant cousin. So, and to honestly, to try wrestling, right? To call Sean Black, to this wrestling community has been an amazing community. I never even knew that there was a wrestling community like this. I knew there was independent shows, but I had no clue. And this wrestling community is being a part of this is one of the best things that ever could have happened to my life because I felt accepted. And Mr. Pissoff was actually family. And if I had not done this, I would never have known that Mr. Pissoff was family.
That's really awesome. And you mentioned you're on the commentary team for ComptonMania.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that scary moment. Is that something that you consciously think about, like would you rather be like in gorilla position, but you're doing commentary?
I love commentating because I feel like commentating, you really get that relationship with the people.
Right.
Like you really and that's honestly that's my real craft. I mean that's my real talent. You know, my talent is making people laugh. I got catchy ways to say things. As a kid, I didn't even know I was funny. I was always the nerd, but people thought I was hilarious because I would just say shit, you know. And to be able to do that with wrestling, it's the ultimate prize. Like me and my uncle, like being a little kid, we'd be sitting there watching wrestling, and he'd be like, "Nephew, what you think about him?" I'd be like, "His boots ugly. He got a big head, you know. I like him. He cool. I like the way, you know." So it kind of brings back, even though my uncle isn't here, every time when I'm on commentating, I feel like I'm right there with my uncle Daryl, with my cousin Tyrone, with my cousin Danny, my cousin Victor. And like as kids, that was the things that we held like really sacred, just to be around each other. Because like I said, I always was looking for like male influences. And when we were together, we could talk about anything, and that's what it feels like every time I'm doing commentating. I don't know if I would be willing to give that up. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I really love it. A matter of fact, I want to do more of it, which is why, you know, on the 17th, I'm doing it for Dream Slam. And listen, any wrestling company anywhere, look, you can book your boy to do a commentary. I would love to do it.
And what is
Color commentating.
what does that kind of mean to you? To obviously ComptonMania, you're the promoter, so you could put yourself on commentary.
Yeah.
But for Dream
That's
Slam,
cheating, right? That's cheating, right, Jay?
right? But for like Dream Slam, a different company to come to you and say, hey, we want you on commentary. What does that kind of mean to you?
It means the world. Shout out to Sean Black and also Wes for giving me my first chances to commentate outside of ComptonMania. And with Dream Slam, we did it last year, and it was so fun with Dream Slam because I really was able to be me. Like I was 100, and the crowd loved it, and it meant the world because that's the validation that we all seek. You know, you want people to be like, "Hey, I appreciate your craft." You know, for Dream Slam to do that, I got mad love for him, 110%, because I feel like that's gonna be something that's gonna go somewhere with me because I never would have even thought like, hey, I would love to do commentating for WWE or basketball or football, any of them. I would love to. Would I get the opportunity? Probably not, because I ain't going to college no more. So for Dream Slam to give me that honor, and for the wrestlers to pop for me to be able to do that, man, I love all those guys for that, because you know that's the validation you want. You know, like
Right.
like they like me, they really like me. You know, like at the end of the day, like you just want to be accepted, man. That's it.
When it comes to wrestling companies, when it comes to, the logos, it could be, based off something, or, just the letters or something. I will say Compton Mania has one of the most unique logos when it comes to the pro wrestling world, no?
It's so crazy you say that. I remember I was talking to a guy. He's like, why would you make yourself the logo? You're trying to put yourself over. And I'm like, if I wanted to, I have every right. I paid for it to be an LLC. I paid for it to be trademarked. God damn it, if I want to put myself over, shit, I have every right. I paid for this motherfucker, you know? But he had how you say, he wasn't necessarily wrong. And you know, you make yourself the logo. You know, what does that mean? And for me, it's multiple levels. So also, I always incorporate my community, always. So I'm African American, and I know one thing for us, or Black, you know, I know one thing for us, like we look for representation everywhere. I know how important it was for me. My first bad guy that I ever loved was Zeus, the human wrecking machine, because he was from Compton. I seen him in a Compton Christmas parade when I was a little kid. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make myself the logo for the simple fact of anytime a Black kid say that they can't do anything, look at that fucking logo. What skin is he? He has freaking dreadlocks in his head. Back in the days, they used to say if you have dreads and braids, you can't get a job. So it's like, yo, you see that logo? That fucking logo that's dark, that fucking logo that got those dreads in his head, that guy made it fucking happen in quote unquote one of the worst cities that possibly can make it happen. You can be anything you put your heart to, anything that you say that you're not going to give up, which why Bret Hart was one of my favorite wrestlers. You know what I mean? Right. But you know, it's just that symbolization was so important for me because I want them to see. So we got that logo, we got the logo with it standing up, and then the logo as like a cartoon, which represent like a little kid version, like a superhero. And it's a superhero because that is the spirit of ComptonMania, the MFM, the mother effing man, the man who said, I know what the history is of this city, but I guarantee you in the next 50 years, they're going to be talking about this is where wrestling made what was a part of Compton's like makeup of who it is. And it was me basically reaching out to that young De'Shawn, that young De'Shawn that had this conversation that I signed with God a long time ago. Like I remember one day it was raining and I woke up and I didn't want to live. I wanted to kill myself. I thought I remember it was like a storm. And I remember as a kid, I'm staring out the window and I'm seeing the clouds. There's pink, there's yellow, because the sun is kind of behind it and it looked like some dinosaur stuff. And I was just so blown away. And I'm like, God, if you real, make me somebody significant in this life or I don't want to be here. And I can tell you, I done dealt with suicidal thoughts my whole freaking life. I mean, not in the last 10 years, because, I've been really, talking to different people, having mentors and different stuff like that. But now I'm starting to see it come to fruition. Like, I'm a part of helping my community. I want to make people's lives better. I don't want to just be somebody who don't have an impact. Like, I want to be able to make things easier for people. I want to change Compton to the wrestling capital of the world. I also want to create housing for wrestlers because wrestlers struggle. Some of these wrestlers, they survive off of a peanut butter jelly sandwich if they get that. Some of them are homeless. Oh, yeah. So I mean, when I think about all those things, like I gotta constantly, actively be trying to do something to make somebody's life better, or my life don't matter. Straight up, that is a straight up truth.
Alright. So, when it does come to promoting, what is something you know now that you wish you knew when you started ComptonMania?
Something I know now. Honestly, nothing. Because for me coming in, knowing nothing, it really put me in a situation where I'd be on the phone for like 3 to 5 hours talking to wrestlers. Right? I would go to, shout out to Lil Cholo. I would go out to the Lucha homies and I would see them train. And I remember Lil Cholo would be like, you trying to train to be a wrestler? No. He's like, well, why are you coming here? I have a wrestling company. I'm just watching what you tell them. I'm just learning. I'm just soaking up game. I started soaking up game. I would have conversations with Sean Black for hours. I would talk to Shiloh for hours. I would, talk to Wes. I talked to so many different people that was in the wrestling community. And I just wanted to learn as much as I possibly can. I talked to Paul, like, hey, Paul, what is this? What is that? Okay, well, this is what I think. What you think? Oh, yeah, okay. And, just the state of learning. I feel like the more you learn it, the more you love it, the more you appreciate it, yeah, like I had to, because if I knew a lot of things, I don't think I worked so hard to try to get to know them as much, because I would just do it. Because at the end of the day, it's about dollars and cents. Just to be honest, I really feel like the fact that I did not know nothing really helped me be able to be like, okay, let me ask this person a question.
Oh, yeah. Usually when I ask promoters that question, they usually say, money. How broke it would make me be.
Oh yeah, I had an idea. That I would be, because and here's the thing too. I'm starting in a market that, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, it's not even Orange County. It's not even, we're talking specifically in Compton.
Right.
Like, what? Wrestling. And then too, there's a perception like, am I even safe? Like, why would I even go there? So I had no clue what I was doing, because I wasn't trying to do a wrestling. It after we did the second show, shout out to my step pops. My step pops gave me $500, and he said, "Here, whatever you do with it is on you." That's how I got my LLC. You know, that's how I was able to get some logos designed, and then later I had to come up with $1,200 to get a trademark. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on that level, like I wasn't thinking about doing no promotion. I just wanted to do a show. I had no clue. I always in my mind, always been like, man, if I really came up with a wrestling company, I think it'd be really dope. But I really did not think of making this a business. You know what I mean? I
Right.
really didn't. This I really didn't. If he wouldn't have gave me that $500, I probably wouldn't have had a business. I'd have just did the show. Like, for real. I had no business savvy at all. I'm still learning. Like,
Well,
yeah, I'm sorry.
no, absolutely. I find it interesting, that it went from just an event that you wanted to put on to an
Yeah,
actual company
yeah.
to kind of branching off into other media as well. The
Hmm.
culture of ComptonMania podcast,
Man,
which is
James, you better quit playing right now. James, you a bad mother. What you know about the culture of ComptonMania?
I know it's a podcast that you do that's not necessarily wrestling related.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
Mm-hmm.
we're being joined by Kaliko Yachts as well.
Kaliko, what's the deal, man?
What's going on, man? I've been
There
well, you
he
know me,
is.
man. I've been there for a long time, so this is a long time coming, man.
Man, appreciate you for coming, man. Appreciate you for coming, man.
No doubt, no doubt. I've been a big fan. I've been doing some chronicles, and a lot of it has been featuring your show, actually,
Real
Constant
man,
Mania.
y'all gotta send me that, man. I will repost that. I had no clue.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, me and you know my friend John. So my boy John, we always go there. So we were at the Ghetto Gauntlet and all
Mm-hmm.
that. We try to make all of them.
Wow, man. Wow. Thank you guys so much, man. Like that means the most when you see people that come out and they like it, you like, yo, they fucking with it. They fucking with it. Like it's crazy because you deal with so many emotions. Like I was just telling James before the anniversary show, like, man, we was getting hit with so many different things outside of wrestling, man.
Oh yeah.
This was hard. This was hard. Like, and I told him, like, I was willing to take a whole year off. Like I was drained, bro. I was whooped. The whole family was whooped. Like we was like, to have you guys come out and support that stuff, man. I swear to God, because of y'all, it'd be days where I wake up after that and I'm like, thank you, Jesus, man. I see you. I see you, man. They coming out, man. All that work you put in, all those sacrifices, all those time where you like, damn, we just had a miscarriage and you sitting over there thinking in your thoughts like, how am I gonna get through this? Like how? Like and you just and then that's when you gotta really think about. It's so hard to think about how many people love you when you feel like all these things are happening. And then it's like, usually in the past, I've had a tendency, like, when stuff got really tough, I would just isolate. Like I would just, and fine, nobody, it doesn't hurt anybody because, it's me. But now you got something that people are behind. You can't, if you quit, it hurts everybody.
Right.
right.
Everybody that's been fighting for you. So to have that support, I just want y'all to know it means the world. It means it makes it all worth it, because this is why we took the chance. That for that specific reason. Watching wrestling with my uncle was the things that helped me from not freaking blowing my fucking brains out.
I feel you, and it's especially like more challenging when you're a black wrestling company in the middle of Los Angeles Which to me, I always look at it like when it comes to like indie wrestling in SoCal, it's like few and far between, right? Like you're either going the Lucha way or you're going like the Samoan way with Nox Pro. But to have that authentic African American niche in Compton, Maine, which I mean, I always wanted to know where it came from. Where did Compton Mania come from as a name?
I was just telling James. So after we did a comedy show in the backyard, me and my boy Just Cam, we're in the car, and I'm telling him like, yo, I want to do this wrestling show, and he's like, how are we gonna do it? Da 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 da. And while we talking about it, all you hearing is screechy tires. So we look at each other, and this fear. This, and have in mind, my grandma crib where we were at. It's not bad like that, but look, at one time when I was a little boy, it was a drug house right across the street, and it used to be drive-bys all the time. But that was like 20 years ago. It's not like that now. But I'm traumatized. We're hearing screeching tires, and we stare at each other like, is this the end? So we looking, and it's an old lady in this red. I think it's like a Corvette or something. Skirt, 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 and she's screaming out the window, vote, vote, vote. And that's when we started laughing, and I'm like, that's some ComptonMania type shit, boy. That right there, that is some ComptonMania type. Matter of fact, that's what's gonna be the name of the wrestling company, ComptonMania. Plus, you mix wrestling with I wanted to bring the city together. So that was the whole thing. I didn't even know about a wrestling community until Sean Black would tell me everything that's going on in the wrestling community. He'd be like, yo, people are saying ComptonMania is this bootleg company. And I'm thinking like, so we are. Like, we're in the backyard. Like, I wasn't even trying to be no company. We try to put on a show. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, that I think too, those things help propel everything. Because it's like, oh, they watching? Why? Like, okay. So is all these different things just help. They just help propel the whole thing. And as a team, we did it. But yeah, that's how we came up with ComptonMania. I talk too much. I'm sorry.
Oh no, man, you good. I'm letting you tell your story because I've always was interested in the story because my boy got me hooked on to y'all. We went to the Ghetto Gauntlet and it was a wrap. He was like, "This is some entertaining stuff." So it's always been entertaining. Fun fact: in my house, I think if I remember, you remember the trash can that was used in the Ghetto Gauntlet.
Yeah.
So I had that autographed by everybody in the back. You know, we took the trash can. I had it autographed by everybody in the back. So CTE, Latino, me, Paul, London, everybody, the whole crew signed it, and then I just kept it. It's like my little keepsake.
Oh man, that means the world, dude. That means the world. You and that's why we do it, man. Like that right there. My uncle would have enjoyed that. You know? Man, I appreciate that. Kaliko, man.
It's been a while, man. But let's talk about what's been going on with ComptonMania. Obviously, we have a new mayor
Yeah.
who's been promising some changes as of late. So, have you seen his changes come to fruition?
Well, I mean, because of the new mayor, you know, we figured some things out with gym work. So we got March 3rd. We're going to be at it's a gym work fest. It's a 2-day fest, the 2nd and the 3rd. We will definitely be there. We got 8 crazy matches. You guys will see the cards coming out soon. Yeah. As far as his work, I mean, listen, Mike Martinez is one of the most annoying some guns you could ever. I mean, he always got some kind of plan and something, but we gonna see. He's done something good so far, but we'll see. Only time will tell, you know.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. But he got his victory. He's the mayor, and it's going to be interesting to see what he does.
And then we have the winner of the Ghetto Gauntlet, Rilla Wolf.
Rilla Wolf.
in which, to me, I think he's going to be a breakout star. The question is that when is he going to get his title shot? When is he going to cash it in against London? Because London, if memory serves me correct, he just got barely beat Latino Meat. I mean, with the help of his goons, of course.
Did he throw
But
cocaine in his face? What was that?
yeah, I don't know what that was. Baby powder, so, it's like a Wayne Newton lookalike. You gotta. He went full Vegas on us. But it was some kind of substance. But question is, what's next for Latino Meat, man? Because Latino Meat, he blew his shot, so now he's kind of in the back of the pack in a sense.
That's a good question. That's a good question. With Latino Meat, we will have to, tune in and see, because I mean, he cheated both times, but just like the 49ers losing to the Chiefs, dynamite. I mean, listen. I wanted Che to win, but 49ers losing to the Chiefs was really good. I'm a Rams fan anyway. But with Che, he's Latino Meat. I mean, I'm pretty sure he will probably be right back up there, and he's one of the most physically opposing wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's Latino Meat. I've seen Grundy. CTE is kind of up there too, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be okay. And as far as Rilla Wolf being a breakout star, I don't doubt it. I mean, I don't doubt it at all. Rilla Wolf is a young, hungry monster. And whenever he cashes it in, I know for a fact Paul better be watching, because this Rilla Wolf kid is an amazing athlete. He works out like no other. Just a great kid. Just a great kid, and really hungry. And he's definitely. Rilla Wolf is a beast. He came in as number one too, and him and Hellman, who won the Ghetto Gauntlet from last year, that was pretty impressive.
And that's coming off Rilla Wolf he built momentum with the Ghetto Gauntlet. Then he had a little issue with his sister.
Oh yeah.
And that was a thing. But it all ended up working out in the end for him. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do for 2024 with that title shot in the back pocket.
Man.
It's going to be interesting. One thing that I do like is the Compton belt. I love the Compton belt,
Boulevard.
the Compton Boulevard Championship, and it had a couple title changes at the anniversary show, in which a guy, his best friend, betrayed him to get it. And that was a tragedy in itself, because it was in the middle of a tag match. But let people know, explain the Compton Boulevard Championship, because I think that title is what got me into ComptonMania. It's a sweet looking belt too, by the way.
Shout out to Anthony Desiree for coming up with the Compton Boulevard name. We were going to go with something else, and AD. He also came up with the Ghetto Gauntlet. AD is a bad mother. But the design of the belt, that was Sir Piss Off. That right there, the the Compton Boulevard title is defended 24/7, 365. It's on site. As long as you have a referee, you can get a shot at the title. And that right there is, that title represents Compton, because every day at Compton, you got to prove it every single day. If you a family man, every day you got to be a great family man. Okay, people might be upset, but every day you got to bring it, and it's on the line every single day. If you a garbage man, every single day, if you take pride in your work, it's on site every single day. My favorite basketball player of all time, Kobe Bean Bryant. Every day, no matter who the opponent was, no matter what small team that we played, like how I felt about Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels will wrestle in a small venue or in big WrestleMania venue, Shawn Michaels is going to give you Shawn Michaels. The Compton Boulevard Championship represents that. It represents the grit of Compton. It represents the fact that every day you got to defend your name. Ask somebody in Compton, what does it mean to be from Compton? And then also ask somebody, you know, especially back in the days, when you go into certain rooms and you say you from Compton, watch everybody turn around and look at you like, oh, hell no. Like, so when that title is defended 24/7, 365, and just like I was telling James before, Compton has such a rich history. We had the second airport, I might be wrong, the first airport in Compton. George Bush stayed in Compton. Compton is called the hub city because if you're in Compton, you can get to anywhere in California. So like to have that title, you know, it means like you represent the city, which also means your ass is on the hit list. You know what I mean? So how are you gonna make it home? You know, that's the question. Because just like I was telling James earlier, when I was going to Hollywood, I had to get on the blue line. Going through the blue line, you got to go through so many different hoods and you got to make it back. You know, so 24/7, 365, your life is on the line when you're trying to go fulfill your dreams. So, and that's the title before you become the MFM. Because before you become the mother effing man, that title right there is going to prepare you for what it means to be the MFM. Because the MFM, what that means is when things don't go bad, when things don't go right, you still got to stand up and you got to take your accountability and you got to be the man even when it's good and even when it's bad.
Oh yeah.
Nice, nice. I like that meaning behind the ComptonMania title. You've also had some ladies there, Candy Girl. You've had some ladies there. So are we going to see a women's ComptonMania championship? Because the girls get shine down there. I will say that they actually get some shine. You actually have some ladies in the ghetto gauntlet. So it just shows that they're willing to get it too. And
Now we do have a women's champion is Maserati, you know. Maserati's our first female African American champion. She from out here, but she from Vegas, you know, and she's putting that title on the line. Like she beat Lois Grain, she beat Candy Girl, and you will see her before the year's up for sure, for sure. And Maserati is internationally known. And I mean, if you really think about it, you got Paul London, you got Maserati, you got the Wrestle Buddies as your tag team champions. Like I said, a dude that's from Compton to just be like, what? It's insane. It's insane. It is insane. Like I sometimes I can't even believe that we here. But Maserati is the woman with an attitude, man. She's bad.
Sounds like she's got that Roman Reigns schedule going on. Yeah.
Oh no. Well, you know, honestly, that's not on Maserati. That's on me as a promoter. We've had different situations where we had different things to just things didn't line up, and it wasn't on her. It was definitely on me. So like she's always ready to go. Always let us know that she's ready to go, but the timing wasn't right on my end. So Maserati, yeah, I get what you're saying, but she's a bad MF. You know what I mean?
all right, we gonna get Maserati this year in the ComptonMania season docket. Will we get her?
Oh yeah, definitely. Before the year's up, you for sure will see Maserati. Best believe it. Book it. Book it.
Well, you have to book it.
Oh yeah, it's booked. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But I can't give it away right now. It's definitely gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. When you talk about Maserati, who came in too, like she's a heel. She's a heel, right? Like you know, she's a woman with an attitude. But man, when these kids see a chocolate girl with the title, it hit different. It's different, y'all. It's different. It's different. It's different when you see, especially when you come from a city where they don't see that. They don't see
Right.
that. And when they see it, even when she being mean, they like, oh yeah, that right there is different. I can't like I tell people too, like a lot of the faces in WWE, if they were in Compton, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, because it's an authenticity to it in a sense. I mean, uh, even you got like prime example, CTE is considered a heel, but he got his following because he's just that guy. Like you could just tell he's a bad MFer and people can relate. So I see it. I see it.
It's like The Last Dragon, right? Show enough. I fuck with Show enough. Like, come on, Bruce Leroy. I was cool with. I like Bruce Leroy too, but I like Show enough.
Show enough better.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Come on, man. Come on.
James, that was a movie in the 80s. You know,
Oh, I'm
he's too
sorry,
young.
James.
So back in the day, there's this 1980s blaxploitation movie about kung fu, and
I'm aware,
it was in New York.
He said, "I'm aware of it. Don't be trying to play me."
Sometimes you gotta educate them. Sometimes you gotta educate. You know, educational purposes only.
Well, let's move on to like we were speaking about before, the culture of ComptonMania podcast, which touches on people that aren't necessarily in the pro wrestling hub.
Yeah, ComptonMania. We also wanted to make the name ComptonMania mean something. Like I was saying earlier, with Compton, people associated with drugs, gangs, all that stuff. Like I said, that element is there. But ComptonMania also represents, like, what is the culture of ComptonMania? What does it mean to be ComptonMania certified? First of all, it's proud of where you from. Number two is like with a family, when you have a last name, and you come from a family, like you got a whole family, like, because a lot of us come from broken families, so it's not the same. It don't hit the same. But when you come from a certain family and you say, well, my name is Watkins, so I could tell my kids, like, hey, well, this is what it means to be Watkins. So when you carry this name, this is what it means. So everything that you do, just know this name. Look, when you mess up, it's gonna hurt all of us, right? It's not just you. So you want to bring in the culture of that. You have different people that has helped ComptonMania that ain't even into wrestling. They just like the significance of that. It helps the community. So when we interview people on the culture of ComptonMania, shout out to Cool Ass Cam, the coolest motherfucker on the planet. Shout out to Innovative Culture. I met Cool Ass Cam right after my mom passed away. So my mom passed away in 2022, and her funeral, huh?
Sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The same day as her funeral was Cool Ass Cam's birthday. And so I was going to just talk to him to see if he can be one of the cameramans for our second Ghetto Gauntlet. And honestly, it turned into something else, because when I went up in there, I'm like, bro, like, we linked up, and we haven't separated since then. And then we got closer. He was helping us with the content. He was editing it. He was videoing. He was like my road dog. Like, he went everywhere with me, and he was like, yo, let's do a show together. We'll call it the culture of ComptonMania. And so our job, we interview people, and what we want to talk about is people's dreams, their passion, how they got there, what were some of the challenges, because doing ComptonMania, it was so many challenges that I had to defeat. I had to when things wasn't going my way in the business, you would want to get mad, you would want to be upset, but you can't. You got to handle things in a different manner. Because now, guess what? It's about doing the right thing, even when the right is not even a choice for you to pick. You still choose righteousness. And that's hard, right? Because we all are flawed individuals, right? So it's like you want to create that atmosphere because of Kobe Bryant is the reason why I go hard, because I learned that from watching him going through everything that he went through, and I internalized everything that he went through because he was my freaking hero, right? Because always looking for father influences in different places. So for us, it's the same way. It's like, okay, let's interview these people that's done positive things, right? And let's highlight the challenges. Let's talk about everything that they went through, what helped them, different things like that. And when you mesh that together, the ultimate goal with ComptonMania is also to create a place where some people are going to watch wrestling. Some people are going to make business deals. Some people are going to meet their wife. Somebody going to meet their husband. Somebody gonna build a great relationship with their kid that they'll never ever forget in the history, right? So it's just all those things. You put those things together and we focus on those, right? That's ComptonMania. That's that creating opportunity in the midst of like nothing, right? So it's just bringing that around. And when you got a group of people that's for you, you ain't even got to worry about who's against you, because you just focus on where that love is coming from. Which is why you feed the fire of those that feed your fire. Don't piss in your fire by helping somebody else that don't even give a shit about what you're doing. You know what I mean? Family or not. You know, if they're not a part of what you're, not saying throw them away, because some people, you know, whatever, but it's like you got to focus on who's helping you, right? So build that relationship, because that's your community. That's your community. I talk too much. I told y'all, man.
You're fine.
No, this is good, man. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Like I told you at the beginning, nobody's listening. I'm only asking the question. This is your show. You're the one that
Yeah,
talks.
it's about you, man. You're the star.
Right.
That's the whole point.
Appreciate you guys, man.
Now, is there an episode of the culture of ComptonMania that's maybe your favorite, or maybe you came into that an interview with one perspective, but kind of came out with a different?
Man, James, man, who created you, man? This man be making some good questions, man. Favorite? You know, all of them all of them were really good. Like as far as like they I was happy about all of them for different reasons. Now, I know the one I got one that's airing in about 2 weeks with Sean Black. That one is probably one of my favorites. The one we just dropped with Afro, he was the first person to rap off of our ComptonMania beat. Next week, Tech the Super Latin, that was a good one. We had a Elijah Banks, that was a good one. That one was one of the ones where I felt bad, because I'm finna be honest with you guys, okay? I smoked too much weed, okay, and I messed up his name. And we got it together. But Elijah Banks, man, listen, you are the man, bro. I appreciate you so much, because oh man, that sat with me like for a long time. I still think about that shit. Like, how do I fuck up his mic? Like, you know how? Like what? But I like the one with Sean Black, because I feel like Sean Black. I hear certain people feel certain type of ways about my guy in the wrestling industry, and I feel like people don't really understand how great Sean Black is, because not only is he a wrestler, he's a wrestler that created a platform that other wrestlers can wrestle on. And I feel like putting people on is a joker card, and it's not the same as somebody who's just wrestling. And like I feel like I just wanted to give my man his flowers, because I feel like in this day and age, everybody wants to expose and talk bad about people, but it's like, let's talk about the ones that should be exposed for doing amazing things, right? Like, so I would say because CTE was fun too. CTE was fun because CTE. So, man, I'm sorry. I'm just jumping from everywhere, but
No worries.
CTE um, we were posting some stuff, and a guy hits me up. He's like, "Yo, man, I want to be a wrestler. What do I need to do?" And I'm like, "Well, I'll send you to Roberto's, you know." So I hooked him up with Roberto. He goes. A lot of people didn't say that they want to be a wrestler. I give them the information, they don't even show up. CTE showed up, so I remember I'm going back to Roberto. Shout out to Roberto. Roberto, West Covina Wrestling Company. Also, he got the he's our ring guy. You know, he's our man, Roberto Azevedo.
Yeah.
So Davey goes over there and or CTE. He goes over there and I go and talk to Rob and I say, "Yo, Rob, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh, well, he's a natural. He catches on. He da 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 da. He's this. He's that. He's this. He's going to be really good." I'm like, okay. So then CTE hits me up again, and I'm like, "Yo, I'm at the crib." So I gave him the address. He pulls up, and he's just like serious. He's just serious, and I like it because I'm about my business too. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna see how serious it is. So not only did he do that, he wind up joining Paul London's school too. And CTE, I would say, is our first ComptonMania project where we can say, hey, he literally saw what we did. He came through the ringer. He went through training, still going through training. And that interview and Sean Black's interview to me was one of my favorites because it was personal, because I want people to know how important that means to this brand. Because now you can't just say y'all just some backyard motherfuckers.
Yeah, and I remember he made his debut at the Ghetto Gauntlet. Yeah, he had damn, they had a whole drum line out there. I was like, yo. So yeah, I remember it. I remember all of it. So see, I could put the finishing touches to that one. But yeah, he debuted at the Gale Gauntlet. Didn't win, but he had a good outing, and that's what you want out of someone like that.
And I'm proud of him too, man, because like I say, outside of wrestling, just him as a man, he's a father, a hell of a father at that. And I think too, that's important. Like, remember when Roman Reigns had him and his daughter where they would do those I don't know if that was his daughter, if that was just, I don't know.
Oh yeah, the little patty cake thing. Yeah, his daughter. Yeah.
Like that's huge. That was his daughter, right?
Yeah.
So just imagine 30 years from now, his daughter gonna be like, my daddy. Like, you know, in his height of his time, he brought me in and we had this moment together. There would be no like Cody Rhodes, right? Come from Dusty Rhodes.
Right.
The Rock. We talk about the bloodline. You see how important it is, like, to have a family, a supportive family. Like, it's important. It's families and community is how we thrive and how we survive. And when you put that in the forefront, it puts things right in its proper perspective.
Right. And I can definitely say ComptonMania, it's one of those things where they actually do indeed do that, because they try to promote like small businesses of all likes at their shows, whether it's just for like small business for food or for shirts or for merch or for heck, even what one time they had beer. I'm not gonna say that, but
Yeah,
hey,
you can say it now. You can say it now.
Hey, I was drinking
It's
beer on a
cider.
church.
It's cider.
No. I had the lager. So I had the lager. So I was drinking beer in a church parking lot. So I can't say that. I was sitting like hell. But but it was a ball. It was a ball.
Well, I don't necessarily know how to transition to this question, so I'm just going to ask it.
Okay.
can you tell us about quarantine toys?
Oh my God, James, what you been doing, man? All right, so shout out to Nina Childs, man. Nina Childs. She's one of the first people I met in Compton. As far as in 2019 when I started telling, because at first I didn't want to tell nobody. I wanted to keep it, you know what I mean? I didn't want to do, you know, I was like, I don't know. I was scared to go door to door because I'm like, motherfuckers saying, you know, coming in here to be like, hey, you want to go to see some wrestling around the corner? Like, you know, I didn't really know whatever. But anyway, so she's a writer, producer, film, all that. She does all that. So she was telling me, hey, I'm having a film festival. We couldn't do no shows at the time. We're on lockdown. She's like, I'm going to have a gathering at my house. Excuse me, we're going to be outside. She got the big screen. She's like, hey, why don't you do a short film? And I'm like, ain't nobody gonna do no short film. Yeah, short film. So I was like, all right, bet I'll do it. So I was like, well, I want to promote wrestling, you know, and have in mind, I do have a I do have a theater background. I can write my ass off. Like you know, I do comedy. I do this, but I didn't want to do something so different from wrestling that people forget about the wrestling, you know,
Right.
you know. So I got wrestling toys. So I was just like, hey, I'm finna just do some fucking voices. And I was just like, fuck it. I'm just gonna make it as silly as possible. I'm just gonna just try it and see what's good. I wind up for her film festival, I did quarantine toys. I did like 3 or 4 films. It was quarantine toys. I did one with my little cousin EJ. I did me and Cam did one. And I think it was like another one. But quarantine toys was really crazy because I was really shocked about how people really liked it. I was like, you like that shit? Why? That shit is stupid as like, you know what I mean? Like I was just like, this is the dumbest thing ever. It's like there's domestic violence in it. Somebody's selling weed. Like it was just like how can I honestly I just wanted to make people smile, and I wanted people to be like ComptonMania. That's it. That was the major thing. And shout out to Nina because that activated something inside of me that gave me like I started building up my confidence again, because at that time too I was going through so much where I was dealing with so many emotional demons, you know, not feeling good enough. And I took on this task to be as great as I possibly can and to work on my craft. But at the same time, I still was questioning myself. So the fact that she asked me to do that, and then when I did it and people freaking loved it, it just gave me another notch. Like, breathe. You okay? You got this. One step at a time. Stop being so tough on yourself. Like, just cook. And yeah, so shout out to Nina Childs, man. James, man, look here, man. James out here, boy. Next thing James gonna say, boy, your social security number is.
That's why I mess with James.
I really appreciate that.
That's why we love him, man. We do our research here. We take pride in that.
I'm like, quarantine toys? I should, man. We need to do a part 2. I got the toys right here. Hold on. This is just a little few of them. I got a little Rey Mysterio. I got the little CM Punk. I don't know what he's doing. He crip walking or something. We got the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. You know, we got Taker. I got a whole bunch more, but we ain't hear about these damn toys. He too grown to be playing with toys. I'm 38 years old, man.
Hey, I still have my wrestling figures too, so there's no
I know,
judgment
right?
from my part.
Ain't no age limit to that. Shit. Especially if you went to WrestleCon this past year. Shit, it's toys galore for them.
Oh, hell yeah.
I need to go to WrestleCon. How often? Okay, look, see, this is how it look. Y'all got to let me know, when is WrestleCon? When does this happen?
Well, it's
For
going to be in
WrestleCon,
Philadelphia this
it
year.
usually happens wherever WrestleMania is. However, on the West Coast, what they did was they did one called the LAX Fan Fest, which is kind of like a West Coast version of WrestleCon. And they be having some good cats out there. I know they did it 2-3 years in a row. I went the first time they had Taker and Brett. I
What?
went when they had Taker, Brett, and then they had Coco Beware. They had so yeah. Just look up LAX Fan Fest. They have all like they and as a matter of fact, fun fact. So right after WrestleMania, like I had a couple chairs. Me and my son, we had some chairs, and one of the guys came to us and was like, "Oh my God, they took our chair and so on and so forth. We want a chair. We want to buy your chair." So my son was like, "Hey, I'll give him my chair." And I was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah." So gave him the chair. Sure enough, the guy works with one of the guys who does like the promotions
Victor Pucci.
for on the West Coast of for LAX Fan Fest and stuff like that, and sent him an autographed Hulk Hogan figurine, certified and all.
Whoa!
So he has it in his room, and he's like, "Can I open it?" I'm like, "Hell no, you ain't opening it."
Hell no, you ain't finna open that.
But yeah, I could get with him, and he'll tell us when they have them. So a lot of and that's the one thing I always say, like you're doing good in an area where it's not a lot of standout wrestling promotions, and I think that's important because the only way these people can get discovered is they get shows. And I like the fact that you have a platform in which these people could get discovered and actually network their talent with other wrestlers and stuff. So I commend you a lot. I know it's a lot that goes into it, uh, but I will say this: you've been pulling it off so far.
Man,
But yeah, I'll get with you as far as like the wrestling stuff because there's what's it, the wrestling guy store. He does a couple meet and greets a couple of months. Like he'll schedule some stuff. He's like on the outskirts of I forgot what it was called. I have
Northern
to think of
Medicaid.
it. Yeah. So yeah, the wrestling guy store, but LAX Fan Fest is usually it. They used to have it every February, but now they pushed it to like the summer. But then
okay.
they'll announce a lineup every now and then. Maybe we'll meet. Maybe we could all meet up at a fan fest one day.
I would love that. I would love that.
No,
That's one thing we gotta get into more the wrestling crowd too. Go ahead, James. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
oh
off,
no, I
sir.
cut you off. No, I was going to ask you. You mentioned you did a couple of those videos. Um, was the art of storytelling one of them?
The art of storytelling was the comedy show we did August 31st. That was right before we did the first ever ComptonMania. That brings tears to my eyes too, because I had to make a I was working for Amazon, and before I got let go from Amazon for getting my truck stolen, um,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother story in itself.
Yeah,
Like,
I need to hear this story. How did you get
okay,
stolen?
so I
Sidebar,
always worked.
sidebar.
No, I always worked for the city of Downey. I was in I was in I was in a crossroads where I'm working at the city of Downey, doing part-time there. And then when I work for Amazon, I'm like, dude, I'm starting to stack my bread now. And I was getting ready to move into my grandma's house. And as I'm driving on the streets with Amazon, I was able to really be like, yo, how do I want to spend the next 15, 20 years of my life? Like, I really want to go after my dreams because I was kind of in and out, in and out, in and out. Like, how can I really go for it? Wrestling's I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about comedy, acting, that kind of stuff, because that's my love. You know what I mean? Wrestling was just like it was a long shot. It wasn't even yet. But I was just putting together a plan, like, okay, I'm gonna do my own comedy special. I've done comedy shows before, but I haven't wrote an hour worth of material. I never have. The most I ever done was 15 minutes. I've done a 30-minute set one time and I was trash because I had to learn it within a day. My cousin asked me to do it. Shout out to my cousin Lynn for paying me $250 to do a 30-minute set I never done before. Like, I've only had 15 minutes worth of material. And when I tell you I was trash, I was trash. And the audience let me have it too. Like, boy, like, no, like, it was so embarrassing. And after that moment, I didn't even want to do comedy no more after a while, because I was just crushed. I was like, fuck, like, what am I going to do? Like, this, it ain't working. It was like, it took me like 3 years to get back into comedy. So when I started working with Amazon, I was working with Amazon, and then I had been working 4 days in a row, back to back, 13 hours, 26 times 2. What? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. That's 52.
52.
So 52 hours within 4 days. My back is killing me. It's raining. It's been raining those 4 days. I'm in Inglewood, and every time I get out of the truck, I'm adjusting myself because I'm just sore. I'm just whooped. And I'm like, damn, I got to get through it. But while I'm delivering these packages in this little neighborhood, I get the weird feeling that somebody's watching me, right? But I don't see nobody. I don't see nobody like watching me. But I just feel like somebody is watching me. So I pull up. I think the street is Gateway. It's like right when you get off that 405 freeway, and I think it's Gateway. So I'm parked. I leave the key in the car. I step out. I got my little headsets on. I got my fanny pack. It got my phone and all that up in there, my wallet and all that. But then inside the truck is my backpack. Got some of my food, whatever. Notepads where I'm taking notes. I walk out and I get to deliver a package. I took like no lie, like 10 steps. I turn around. The vehicle is fucking going. Yeah. And I'm sitting there staring where I park, like, I know I parked right here. I am tripping. Like, I am tripping. And I'm just sitting, and I look up the street, like, I know it didn't drive, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, fuck no. So I called dispatch. What is this? Right hand of God. I called dispatch. I say, hey man, you ain't gonna believe this shit. He said, hey, try me. Cause everybody knew everybody knew I was a little silly, you know. I took care of business though. And they like, try me. Like, you know, he gonna say some stupid shit. I'm like, my nigga. And I said it just like that. And this guy is not black. This is how shocked I am. And Kaliko, you know, when we say my nigga, when we start off like that, you know it's some bullshit. You
my
know
nigga.
You know, he was like, I'm like, my nigga, they took the motherfucking truck. Like, the truck is stolen. He said, you bullshit. I said, hell no, nigga, I wish I was. The truck is gone. I know I parked this motherfucker right here. This car is recorded, right? I don't give a shit. The car is stolen. I'm being honest. Man, I call the police. The police come. They look at me. I tell them the story. They said, man, we understand. We leave our key in the car too, because anytime when somebody get ready to do something, we just hop in and put the feet on the pedal and push. Like, I get it. He was like, but yeah, it's gone. Like, so I had to go. The boss comes down. She meets me at the police station. and she is pissed. I mean, she is pissed. And I'm sitting over there, big dummy, right? I'm just sitting there with my head down. I'm just shaking my head like, and as soon as she come in, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I left the keys in the car. Sidebar, when I first got this job, I got the job. I mean, like she said literally the only way you can lose this job is if somebody steal your car if you don't show up for work. And I'm laughing. Who would get their car stolen?
Who would get their truck stolen? And
Yeah,
sure as shit, you the
yeah,
one.
exactly. Same thing, make you laugh, make you cry, right? So like it got stolen. And I remember I'm in the car with her and she's so mad, but then she sees my face. So she's really sympathetic for me. I said, listen, I already know y'all gonna fire me. I'm so sorry, I apologize. And man, she had to fire me, man. And she hated to let me go because I was one of her best workers. But at that point, I remember reading Bernie Mac book when he got his Amazon truck robbed and shit. And he was like, I'm gonna take this comedy shit serious. And I was in that same boat. But it's like shit, all the money that I had stacked up about to run out because now I'm moving in my grandma's house. And how the fuck am I gonna pay $1,200? That's just rent. The water bill $300. So I gotta at least come up with 15, and then the gas and the lights. You know, like I'm sitting over here like I'm fucked. And now my part-time job, I had fully left it, but it wasn't 6 months, so I was able to come back. But still, man, that hurt. So at that time, I started to just take time on my craft. I started working on some comedy material. And the art of storytelling was basically when you think about how important stories is, like wrestling, like the storylines, it got me as a kid, it kept me. Even when you watch football and basketball, it's like who's going to meet up with who. Storylines is very important. Storylines also determine if you're gonna have a good or bad future. You know, on Real Talk, depending on how they taught you a story. The stories that I heard about my father when I was young, you know, led me into trouble because my dad was a gangster. So of course, when I'm in first grade, second grade, third grade, you know, I'm getting into fights because I gotta prove that I'm gangster because my daddy was gangster, So it's just the art of storytelling is really important because stories is how we shape our brains, right? Even when our brains haven't even fully developed, like stories, they inspire you, they motivate you, they keep you going. It's the difference between life or death at times. So I did this comedy show called The Art of Storytelling, and basically the art of storytelling, I talked about game banging, but from a different perspective, like how game bangers have different lingo for different things. Like being from Compton too, like we got horses out here, like that's insane. Like whoever thought people in Compton have horses. And I turned it into like almost like a Sesame Street bit, right? I had these overalls, I had a Martin Lawrence shirt, bright colors, because I wanted people to get like an education of how things may seem to one person ain't really how they are. You know, it's because we all live in our heads and we experience each other based off of how we perceive things in our heads, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the art of storytelling was something that was huge because remember how I told you how like my auntie paid me $250 to do a show where I did not want to do comedy no more, like I was afraid of it. Like, and now you got to write a comedy special within 2 months, an hour worth of material. So I busted my motherfucking ass because I was scared. In order for me, if I really want to fulfill my dreams, I got to conquer my first demon, which is get back on stage, do comedy because you were afraid, right? You got away from it for 3 years because of that one moment, you know, and I had to face those demons. That's what Kobe would do. And again, one of those things the day before when I'm going to go buy me some overalls, I'm driving. This is the day before the show. And I'm performing this in Nana's backyard too. So this is in Nana's backyard too. I had like at least 70 or 80 people back there to watch me do comedy. I packed my backyard up. I packed it up. We had my cousin Shali, shout out to her. She helped design the stage. The stage fell through. We had to rent a stage for $50. I should have rented the stage first, and I wouldn't have spent all this money on trying to build the stage and it breaks, right? But anyway, so we wind up renting the stage, going all the way out. The comedy show. While I'm driving to get the overalls, I'm listening to AM 710, and they were literally talking about Kobe Bryant, asking Kobe Bryant, when you prepare for big games, like what music did you listen to? And literally Kobe Bryant was saying, man, I used to listen to the Halloween theme. So while I'm driving, I'm having this panic attack because the show is tomorrow. It's an hour worth of material. What if they don't like it? They're in your backyard. Like, you can't hide. Like, what are you going to do now? Like, all these different things. And as Kobe Bryant is talking, I'm in my own head. And when they start playing the Halloween thing, doom. When I heard the doom, something inside of me was like, look, it's your life right now. Your life is on the line. Fuck it. If you lose, you're going to die. That's it. You're going to stand. What you going to do? What you going to do? You can counsel it right now. What you going to do? This is a guy who's been so talented, a guy who believes that he got all these gifts, but when things get too tough, he might quit. You know, so are you going to quit? What you going to do? And it became that moment. What are you gonna do? And I remember, in my house, it's like it's a duplex. So when you come in the backyard, in between the two houses, I'm in a corner right before I go through the curtain and run on stage, and I'm sweating. I am sweating, and my cousin Cash, he comes. I'm alert. I don't know what they alert me. So my cousin Cash, he comes to the back and he sees me, and my dreads is just hanging on my face, and I'm just sweating, and my eyes is like big, and and he's like, Sho, he's like, are you okay? And I just stared at him, and he was like, you look like you seen a ghost. And he was like, you got this, Relly, you got this. So he walks off, and then they hit the Old Town Road, and I come out with this fake ass horse. And I had to conquer so many fucking demons. Like, after I did that show, like, I only did 30 minutes of it, and I did good. It wasn't the greatest of all times. I had 2 months, but it was really good. It was good. And I remember at the end of the show, I just started crying. I cried, bro. Like, I was like, I can't believe I did this. I did this. I did this. So then my boy's like, when we gonna do the next comedy show? I was like, man, it would be dope just to do a wrestling show in the backyard, because I was just chasing young Sean. I just wanted to chase young Sean, man.
All right. Kaliko, I believe it's time for the colossal question. If you still remember how to phrase it.
Oh gosh, it's been a while since I did these
Colossal
interviews. Yeah.
question.
Yes.
So the question is, in your case, you become the greatest booker of all time. On your company becomes the biggest wrestling company in the world. And it becomes so big that they're going to do a biopic about your life.
Ooh.
But every biopic has a soundtrack. So what 5 songs would best fill your soundtrack up to this point?
I have to say, Chance the Rapper got a song called the hook is fuck you. I forget the name of it though. It's not called Fuck You. It's called but the lyric in the song is he said, I'm assigned to my city like the bat signal. And that's one of them, because that song is like, and the fuck you isn't to everybody that doubted me, because that's what usually people say, the doubters, fuck the doubters. But the fuck you is for those thoughts that I let harbor in my mind and tell me different things. Like it's for those. It's it's that. So that's one song. Another song, you said 5 songs, right?
5 tracks.
It would have to be Kanye West because when I was younger, when I was performing, la 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 la, wait till I get
Okay,
my
yeah, bye,
money,
bye.
right? Like that right there. Also,
That can't tell me nothing. I remember that one.
yeah,
The chance to rap
yeah.
for a song is I Might Need Security, I believe.
There we go. Look, Jane. Come on,
Uh,
Jane. Come on, Jane. Yes, I might need security. Can't tell me nothing. Um, um, uh, I think I don't know if it's. I know it's a song off of Watch the Throne. It's Jay-Z and Hov. It's When they don't do Hov. Huh? Niggas telling me that you back like a nigga ever left up out this. Huh? And license
oh,
they my dick. Huh? And just forget it. You talk it, I live it. I live it.
oh
Like
yes.
love, I did it.
Oh,
Is
that's not.
I'm
That's
going
not who
ham.
goes
Hard as a motherfucker. Let
ham.
these niggas
Going
know
ham.
who
Yes,
I
ham.
am. So
Ham. Ham.
ham.
Ham.
Yep.
Ham. Watch the throne.
Yep. Two more. You know what? I gotta do this. Shout out to Ruth and Hezekiah. They got me on some Rod Wave type of kick, you know. Keep it gangsta. You know, I like that. Um and and then I gotta go back to the roots. I gotta go back to the roots. And I don't know who sings this story. Sings the song. It's a gospel song. But it's called You Don't Know My Story and the things that I've been through. You'll never understand my pain. Don't try to figure it out. But my worship, it's for real. It'll be those songs.
I think that's the first gospel song we've had on this list.
Quite possibly. I mean, it's definitely a solid group of songs to say the least.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, music gets you through. It gets you through.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, now that we got the
Oh yeah.
soundtrack down, everybody knows the soundtrack's the biggest part. Then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays
Mm.
De'Shawn, and you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
I don't know. I really don't know. I would probably have to meet that individual.
Hmm.
Because I think it'd be really hard to play me. Like because it's so many levels. It's so many different levels. I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't want to pick the person, probably not. I would probably want people that's close to me to pick, and then I'd be like, who did you guys pick? And if I like them, I would definitely let somebody close to me to kind of put like, who do you think? You know, because I think when you start seeing people play you, I think sometimes you can get caught up off, oh, this fool don't look like me. You know what I mean? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you know, his eye is a little lower. You know, it's just, you know, like I don't honestly, I don't know. I don't know because it's like anybody that I know is like way older than me, so obviously they wouldn't be able to play.
Hey,
I
it could
really
be
don't know.
anybody. The CGI is a thing.
Okay.
But
Um, I would say this then. Since you said it could be anybody, it would have been Bernie Mac. because I
I
wish I
knew
could
it.
play
That's what I was
Bernie
waiting
Mac.
on. I was
You
waiting
know
on
what I
Bernie
mean?
back. I knew it was gonna be Bernie.
If he plays me, that means I have to play Bernie Mac. But then I would have to go back to the fro, and get skinnier too. Cause but
Alright. Now, every movie has a supporting cast. Who
ooh,
would be 3 people significant to you and your story? And if you'd like, you could cast them as well.
somebody would have to play my grandma Charlotte. Um, that's so hard because my grandma is literally like the Undertaker, the Joker. Like she's everything. Like somebody. How can you bring that Nana spirit? That would be so hard. But if I'm thinking off top, probably Oprah. Oprah has to play Nana.
Okay.
Uh, my lady. Who would play? Who would play wifey? Mm, mm, uh, it would have to be somebody that's chocolate. Um, uh, I don't even know. And it's so crazy. I'm such a normal, like regular, like even if a celebrity was sitting next to me, I probably wouldn't even know who the fuck they are. Like, just to be honest, that has happened to me many a times. Like I would just, you know what I mean? Like I don't even know. Like, that is a freaking phenomenal. Damn, you making me have to start researching. Like, how are you gonna answer this question?
And you can leave it up to casting if you'd like.
I'll leave it up to casting. There you go. Yep.
I was gonna say like Regina Hall.
Okay, Regina. Okay, Regina Hall.
Apparently,
Wait,
Kaliko is part of casting.
Hey,
what's
Sanaa Lathan.
Sanaa
Lathan.
Lathan too light bright?
She's like,
Uh,
oh God, too light bright. I'm done.
who? Okay, who was the girl that was dating the guy that was the coach of the Boston Celtics?
Nia
Nia Long.
Long.
Nia Long. Yes. There you go. Nia
See,
Long.
Nia Long.
So
See, there you go,
Oprah and
Jay.
Nia Long. That's a hell of a cast already.
Okay. And we need one
Um,
more person to be in your movie.
One more person. I guess it will have to be Cameron. Just Cam, okay, because it started off with me and him. So with just Cam, this should be easier. Dave Chappelle.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. This is definitely sounding like a solid movie. And you could pre-order the tickets now.
Hey. Yeah, and also I want to tell everybody too, ComptonMania.com is under construction right now too. Because I was like, yeah, you can go to Compton. You can't go to ComptonMania.com right now.
Well, when it is up to date, I will update the video with the link to the website.
For sure. It probably won't be ready for a while. It's we had it with Koji, and Koji just got bought out. So we're gonna have to find another situation and get it going. But yeah.
Hey, onto a controversial subject. Pineapple on
Ooh.
pizza. What's your stance?
Pineapple on pizza? Hell yeah, we from the hood. What are you talking about? Pineapple on pizza is what we talking about. Yes. Pineapple with bacon? Yes. Pineapple hits. Yes.
Alright.
Anytime you had like an exotic pizza in the hood, you was tearing it up because you was only getting cheese or pepperoni or sausage. You like pineapples? Hell yeah, something different.
Bougie buddy.
Yes.
You bougie when you get.
You feel me? If you getting pineapple pizza in the hood back in the days, you was bougie. Or if you
Bougie ass.
get shrimps, come on, man. You know we was on that top ramen diet.
Oh yeah.
Now, what's your spirit Pokemon?
My spirit Pokemon. Jigglypuff, jiggly, I mean,
Jigglypuff.
Hell yeah.
Jigglypuff will sing. You know, I'll create a song off of anything. You know what I mean? So definitely Jigglypuff was the shit.
Now, we love the late great Tracy Smothers on the show. Do you know the acronym for Thug? THUG.
The hate you love to give.
That is one of them, but it's not the Tracy Smothers acronym.
Oh, that's Tupac. My bad. My bad. That's Pac. My bad. I'm sorry. Now you like, wait a minute. No.
The Tracy Smothers is T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail. Cause a dog can't spell. Yes, we love the late great Tracy Smothers trying to keep the
Tracy
wrestling alive
Smothers.
on the show.
Oh yeah, Southern legend, Southern wrestling legend.
Yeah. Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider booking a Rock, not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock for a match?
Absolutely. Can you imagine me doing commentating for a guy versus The Rock? Oh, it'd be hilarious. Like, I mean, a Rock versus a person, The Rock is already at the bottom. This is crazy. No need for a rock bottom. This right here, it writes itself. I mean, even whatever you do to The Rock, you're gonna hurt yourself. Like yes, I would book it. If Vince McMahon can book two people against Shawn Michaels and God, I think a Rock would be just fine. For real.
I feel that Shiloh would be the one in that match for some reason.
You already know. You already know Shiloh definitely will pull it off.
Well, just for context, there is a wrestler named Psycho Mike that did indeed wrestle a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yes.
I think he the man.
He definitely is the man.
For real. If you able to do that, to listen, wrestling is one of the hardest forms of entertainment because you need your whole body. You need your vocal cords, you need your whole body, and to be able to do that with a Rock or by yourself, bow down. That's called knowing your craft.
If only he actually beat The Rock.
Yeah, he lost.
The Rock pinned him, or did The Rock make him tap out?
Oh,
Beat him by DQ, if I remember right.
Oh,
there was a couple of DQs, yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant. Did he hit it with a chair?
He hit it with papers and scissors.
Papers and scissors. Who's the referee? The referee got it. The Rock papers. That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Oh my god.
That is freaking brilliant.
On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
5 years. I see 5 years. I see ComptonMania thriving. I see dang, the kids would be Ruth would be done graduated. Hezekiah, it's his senior year now. I feel like in 5 years, like it's like I got it, but at the same token, it's like I just kind of want to. How do I put it into words? Like
I got you.
I see us thriving. I feel like we see content. We're doing shows all the time.
ComptonMania
I see people
taking over.
yeah, I also see people really catching on to the spirit of ComptonMania. You know, like I said again, with football, I didn't met so many different people that I wouldn't have met going to like some of the Rams games. Wrestling, one of my best friends growing up, Anthony Lavelle, we watched wrestling together. It brings so many people together. I met you guys. You know, I just want to create a place where people can be like, you know what? I'm finna find whatever I need at that place. You know, that's the best way I can say it. I don't know. Yeah, I got to work on that speech.
No worries. But is there a match from ComptonMania that people should go out of their way to see that best shows off what ComptonMania is all about?
Every last one of them. Go to YouTube, watch every last video. Every last video, because just like how you guys know, card is always subject to change. Um, these matches, they mean different things. You remember back in the days, like if you wanted to see a wrestler fight another wrestler, and you would be like, why this didn't happen? This is unacceptable. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, in wrestling, there are 550,000 things that can happen that cannot make that shit happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And basically watch it and see matches, even matches that you may not deem as very well or very good. Watch those matches and see how everyone here is doing their best to bring out their best, even if it don't even show to you. Even if you feel like things can improve, watch these guys, not just me, everybody on the show. And some people have this much experience, some people have no experience. Some people, this is their debut match. Some people, we've learned as a company, people got to be trained to get in the ring. You know what I mean? And we've always had people trained in the ring, but we've also had a couple of people that you be like, huh? You know, so we went through a learning process, right? Like real talk. We went through a real learning process, because you don't just go to the NFL and just be the greatest player to ever play. No. You know, each match has its own flavor to it. Even when we did pop-ups, we had to do pop-ups to be creative because we couldn't afford to get the ring at the time, right? We did tapings because I had relationships with different people that were able to use a backyard to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to take something from nothing to make something, right? So when you go and whatever match you see, go look at the interviews we did. Go to the ComptonMania YouTube. Go look at the interview I had with Slink Johnson back in COVID. You know, when we had to do things just to keep the name alive. Valentine's Day is coming up. We did our first special, the Valentine's Day special. Like, go check it out. And then also, you would just see how you can see times in a video where we like, well, this is coming on next because something else happened. Like my man, Just Cam, he had no video experience at all. Like none. Like, we're learning this shit on the fly, guys. Like, because the first step, because remember, I was a guy, like when things got tough, I would quit, right? We committed to it. And we like, I don't give a shit. If we only got this is going to have to hit. So, you know, all those different things. You know, look at some of the Monday Night ComptonManias, like when we first started and where we were before we stopped. And we're going to bring it back soon. Excuse me. But just, I'll name 5 matches. Judias versus Grundy would be great. You know what I mean? That is amazing. Paul London versus Hellman Rosecrown. When Hellman Rosecrown came in on a horse, that was huge for us. You know, Maserati versus Lois Grain. That was freaking insane. Jay Baptiste versus the God King. That was pretty cool. Shiloh versus anybody. I mean, it's. I'm really proud of our work, not just because it's mine, but because of the journey. You know, real talk. Like, we grew as a team. We experienced heartbreak as a team. We experienced heartbreak as individuals. We had to learn as a team. I had to learn how to lead. You know what I mean? We had different people in our circles that shouldn't have. That ain't got shit to do with the matches. Listen, go watch all the matches. You know what I'm saying? I done named all the 5 matches. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there you go.
I mean, the one I liked was Real Wolf was it Tim King?
Oh
I
yeah.
forgot.
Yeah, so he was he's the Tim. He's the Tim. He was the God King, and then he turned on Boom Shasta and became his original self, the Tim. That was a hell of a match, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I think that was the one, if I remember right, he dumped him on his head and he still finished the match, if I remembered it right.
That I
Like that one
I think
was like, yeah.
I think because they were both sweaty too, and I think when he slipped or something, it was like watching that match. Like if you listen to me commentating, I'm like ooh, and
Yeah.
I'm like quiet for like a whole 30-40 seconds. I am okay. I'm not gonna do it like that. I'm gonna keep it G. So listen, I have a personal relationship with I'm gonna say with Tim. I have a personal, and I got a personal relationship with each and every wrestler, right? But specifically with Tim, like Tim, like I know Tim, right? Like to imagine if the worst thing happened, I got to tell his mom or his wife,
Right.
you know, he'll never walk again, you know, or it could have been
It
tragic.
could have been tragic. And the fact that he not only, because I remember he finished the match and he was able to walk. So that's why I honestly I think that just embodied Compton Mania as a whole. Like these people are doing their best to entertain, and he was able to just walk right back out and be in character. I was like, yo, that is
Got put in the trash can right after that. Like
put in the trash can
and
right after. Yep.
so for me, what I learned from that, again, I take all the smoke. If I'm the logo, I got to take all the smoke. That shit is never happening again. And I don't give a damn how anybody feels about anything else. We stop in the fucking match. Like that right there, because I know, you know, this is a big thing for these guys. They want to finish it. You know, they want to go. They want to. That was something I'll never ever on my show. That shit fucking happens. We already know what to do after that. I can't. It's you learn, right? I remember when Owen died.
Yeah.
And that was heartbreaking. That was fucking heartbreaking. And then like the stories of how the hook wasn't the right hook and all these different things. And this happened to WWE. Like, you know, so if it happens to them, you damn sure believe you ain't fucking with them. So you ain't no better than them. So it's just certain things that's really like, yo, when shit like this happened, we had a talk with the team. This is what we doing. I don't care how the fans feel at that point, because it's not about the fucking fans, because this person has a family.
Right.
And I remember how they said how when Owen Hart died, how it affected their family so much because Owen Hart just wanted to fucking be a teacher. And I know losing my dad at 2 years old, to fucking lose your dad like that. And this ain't me casting stones at Vince, because I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm not. When you running something, it's a lot of shit that go. You be like, yeah, you got this. I believe you got this. I'm not on that level. Legally wise, they can figure that out. You know, I'm not even finna get into that, because shit, like that pressure. who gonna tell his kids? Like that's gonna affect them. Who's gonna tell these kids a father is one of the most important things to have in a house? And of course a mother is, of course, but kids that don't have it, man, they know. You know, like to go out like that, I'm not blaming anybody. That's too is you gotta learn. And fuck that. We stopping the show. At least the match, making sure he was good. And I love my man Tim to death. We had the Amalams check him out. Tim came right back. You know what I mean? I'm
Came
like,
right
go
back.
to the
Yeah,
hospital.
he
You
came
know
right
what I mean?
back.
Like, what are you doing?
He,
We know
he
you
came.
tough.
He
Like,
came right on back.
and he's been healing. He's ready to come. He's itching to come back. But that was one of the scariest moments of ComptonMania ever. Like it was so hard to enjoy the cage match because I'm still tripping about that. You know what I mean? In that moment. But you can
Oh
watch
yeah,
the
that's
cage
right.
match and
The
that
cage
match
match.
also on YouTube. You know what I mean? So
And
yeah.
you don't have to go looking for all of the link to the ComptonMania YouTube page will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and
Come
Castbox.
on, man. Hey, listen, y'all need to listen to Wrestling with Entertainment. What are you doing? Like, this is crazy. This has been one of the most dopest interviews ever. Like, they dig deep. What are we talking about here, man?
Hey, yeah. Well, I mean, if they're listening right now, they're
Oh,
listening
it's
Hey,
to me
people
and
son.
live right
Watkins
now listening?
right now.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah, they listening right now. You're right. I'll be just talking shit. I'm pardon at the mouth.
Well, I appreciate the plug from on your part as well. But you
Yeah.
can find the link to ComptonMania in the description of the video below. If you haven't seen, want to re-see all of ComptonMania, I'll even throw a couple of the matches, the single links to them as well. Check that out after this interview.
Sure.
And
Oh, and Candy Girl and Savannah Stone was really good too. That was a really good match.
Oh yeah, Kate.
oh yeah,
Auntie Heidi and PJ Laurier was a good match too.
PJ Laurier, people don't. She's actually legit.
Oh
She's
my
good.
god. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean these. Oh man. Oh man. I ain't gonna even say too much, but yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, you can binge watch all of ComptonMania. But before we get there, since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Ooh.
This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Greatest wrestler of all time.
All right. Shawn Michaels for Bret Hart.
Okay. Worst wrestler.
Worst?
Yes.
De'Shawn Showtime Watkins, the worst wrestler of all time.
You are not a wrestler. I cannot accept that answer.
All right.
We'll accept it.
I don't know.
Would you like the default answer?
Yes. What's the default answer?
You have chosen Eva Marie.
Eva Marie.
Oh, all red everything.
Yes.
Hey, right when they were doing that thing, all red, and I was like, that's the greatest thing ever. She's not here. She's not coming. She got a great gimmick. What the fuck? Like, yeah, that was crazy.
You're you're booking the main event for WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who are the 2 combatants?
You talking about as far as like the wrestlers that's in there right now?
Yes. Anybody of any time.
Oh, of any time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're booking WrestleMania. It's for the World Championship. Who's the main event?
Shawn Michaels versus RVD.
Damn. All right.
Did we? I don't think that ever happened, right? It kept not happening.
No,
It
that
happened
never
once
happened.
on Raw. It was a
But
throwaway
it was,
match, but it was on Raw for sure.
but not like where they let them cook.
No, it didn't. All right.
Huh. I'm about to look that up.
If you could come
That
out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
the Ultimate Warrior. I don't know if I'm in shape enough to run out and to keep that energy. I'm probably run about 15 feet to be change the music, change the music. But no, as a kid, when that Ultimate Warrior theme would hit, I would just be running all around my living room. Like, yeah, yeah, the Ultimate Warrior would be my first choice. Yeah.
Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is.
Life.
We would have also
Ooh.
accepted taste great on toast.
Wow.
Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Should be more of them, but it's a vegetable.
It is indeed a fruit.
What?
See,
Yeah.
I told you. No, I was praying to the death of them that squash is a vegetable because no one puts squash in holiday fruit pies and shit.
Yeah, and also when you black, eat your vegetables. It's squash. You know, So yeah.
Yeah, no
I
one
mean,
was
but
pushing
you made
squash as a
it made
fruit in the
it a
hood.
fruit. It probably is a fruit.
Well, it has seeds, so it has tomato logic, but you are a part of Squash Squad now, and that means a hell of a lot more.
That does because no one says, "Oh yeah, let's go eat some squash pie or squash
It's
pudding."
not sweet.
That's what I'm saying. It ain't got no juice. No one's doing squash juice.
There's
I even
actually
think
a
a
squash
tomato
juice.
is considered a vegetable, but they say it's a fruit. But a tomato ain't sweet. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to figure out where these squash vines that they keep, these squash trees that they keep coming from, because
Yeah.
usually fruit grows in trees.
New Japan Pro wrestler Taichi, his ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Just make sure you don't get Murphy's like Ahmed Johnson used to get. Like, please. Like, Ahmed Johnson was so great, but by the end of the match, his draws will be all up his ass. His draws will turn into a thong. So as long as you're not thonging it out and your cheeks ain't eating it, I mean, think about it. Like wrestling, it does sell sex, right? It does, right? For men and women. Like people like that, right? So it is what it is. It's part of the pageantry. So just make sure you don't have no malfunctions. Don't let your thing pop out or some crazy. I mean, they all like Daisy Dukes anyway. Cheeks is always out. So you know.
Don't Oddman Johnson it.
Yeah.
Alright, and the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No.
And that is the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with us, Sho Tyme.
Man, thank you guys, man. I felt so loved in this interview. Appreciate you guys so much. Y'all made this so easy for me. And just thank you for an opportunity to get to tell my story.
Well, we love our stories on Wrestling With. Not every
All about them.
wrestling interview was like the stories. We love the stories.
Man.
And
Y'all dope. This is one of my favorite interviews. Like, for real, for real. Like, y'all really made me really think about some things. So I definitely appreciate you guys for that. 100%. Kaliko and Mother effing James, man. Appreciate y'all.
Hey man, I'm gonna have to get with you anyway. I gotta get that year pass because unlike every other promotion, he actually sells year passes
Yeah,
for ComptonMania.
man, that's crazy. And that we tried that too, and that was crazy. That started on me and DNL. We were talking about that, and I'm like, you think people will do it? And sure enough, man, I think we had like 5 people get our yearly pass last year, and that was when we, you know, we appreciate all the supporters, the Compton Maniacs, people that ain't even Compton Maniacs. I mean, honestly, like people that we just appreciate the love and support. Thank you guys. We couldn't have done it without all you guys. I want to thank all the fans. I want to thank people like the 7th Carlos. That's my guy, Big Mark. He helped us out major. Damn, it's so many different. Phil, Remix Mobile Stage, Click Sound Stage, Donkey Bongs, TKK Radio, Juice, Taylor, Rez, My City of Compton, Family, Wrestling with Entertainment, like for real, like for real, like my man Bangarang. Bangarang is one of our fans that come to everything. Justin, one of the drummers, he was one of our first. He come to every show. He was there when we were in Nana's backyard, man. We love y'all. Thank you to the Compton Advocates. Thank you to Gino, Can-Am Dental. Thank you to the East Side Riders. I did not do this on my own. Thank you to Hub City Dre. Thank you to Lily Darden. Thank you to Jonathan Bowers. Thank you to the mayor, Emmett Sharif. Everybody that gave us an opportunity. Thank you guys, because thank you to Miss Patty Collins, part of the Bootsy Collins Foundation, Bootsy Collins' wife. Thank you to the Historical Society 125, Nina, Just Camp, my lovely lady Tyra, love you, babe. Shout out to everybody. I'm sorry, it's just because you don't do this by yourself,
Right.
okay? You don't, and it takes a team, and we need more people on the team. Like it's just that simple. You can't do this by yourself. It takes a village, and I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for and my grandma. I love you, Nana. I love you so much. Yeah, man. I'm sorry. Love my mom. I got her. Rest in peace. She's right here in the garage with me. I still got her her shoes right here. You know, that's a whole nother story too. Like, man, it's just like from a kid that used to want to kill himself and felt like his mom didn't love me. And then right before my mom died, you know, we had like an amazing conversation. And before she went down, I was able to heal from a lot of things and just say like kids and parents too, just know like we all trying to figure it out, you know. And you don't truly become your full self until you forgive, because when you don't forgive, you just get so clouded with being hurt and you never go to the next level. So I think it's very important to forgive, deal with your emotions. Don't be ashamed to feel what you feel, you know, and just be in a moment, guys, with your loved ones, because I promise you, you don't know how many days you're going to have with them. So that's all I'm going to say about that, and just lead with love, man.
And I don't speak for everybody that you mentioned, but for me and Kaliko, and I'm sure everybody that you mentioned, thank you, Sho Tyme. And once again, where can we find all things ComptonMania on social media and your next upcoming show?
March 3rd. March 3rd is going down. We're going to be in Almonte. The doors open at 1:00. Bell time is going to start at 4. Remember, this is a festival, so it's going to be hip hop. It's going to be some bomb foods. You're going to have Irie and Teens there. Excuse me. It's going to be drinks. You can get your puff on. you can also bring your little ones too. It's a really nice. It's gonna be a really nice event. Um, that's March 3rd. We have Rancho Camacho, who was our first champion, will be back main eventing. Of course, CTE will be in action, Shiloh, and you never know. Will the living legend be there? It's definitely gonna be dope, man. This is our first festival that we putting together. It is a name your price festival, which means that whatever you got in your pocket, however way you want to support the brand, you pay what you can. Because our ultimate goal is to develop a relationship with our audience. We want to be able to get more interactive and just build this relationship together. Like, again, I don't want to do wrestling by myself. Doing wrestling, I was able to get community and family, and which was something that I was truly hurting from growing up and always searching for. And in my life, I had to learn to be happy, because you got people really rooting for you out here. So yeah, I talk too much, but that's it. You can follow ComptonMania everywhere. Our main goal is on YouTube, where we're able to be monetized. So I need you guys to watch those videos, like, subscribe, share, and watch the ads, because that's how we get paid, straight up. And we are from the ground, so we don't have a lot of money. We're working on generating money. If anybody want to donate, feel free. Everything goes into the brand. If you look at our Instagram, you can see that we really focus on our production value, because production, when you putting on the show and you putting on the show, us promoters, most of the time we're not making money off of the show. We ain't there yet. So what we try to do is we do the show, and then also you guys can watch it on YouTube, because then we can get some bread, and we'll be able to put it into the machine, and we'll be able to do more things. Also, as a brand, we're working on more things with the community. There would be more we've done a couple of, you guys seen when we do backpack giveaways, food giveaways, when there's no wrestling, just straight up, just for the community. So we're working on to do more of those, and when we have our shows, to have all those things there, because certain people need expungements on their record. Some people may need to go grocery shopping, and there's free groceries at some of the shows. So won't be at this one, but just being, I'm upfront, I'm honest. Whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about. ComptonMania on Instagram, the X, all that. Sho Tyme everywhere. I don't know. Yeah, ComptonMania. Just yeah.
You have a show on. You have something March 9th as well, right?
Yes, March 9th. It's called the Spring Flavor Festival. Woozy! So I will be one of the hosts. Also, Sling Johnson, the comedian, the guy that played Black Jesus, will be one of the hosts too. Comedian Tony Grams will be there. It's gonna be like a R&B vibe. That's just me and my friends. It's the same ones that do the wrestling stuff, and we do all things entertainment. We do it together, and we are a family. And yeah, so when we sing at Dream Girls, we are a family, like a giant tree branching out to the. Okay, let me stop. Also be on the lookout. We have we have a Spotify store. I'm just working on trying to post. I'm slow. We getting it together, but we got some gear in our Spotify store. Hit us up in the inbox. We can press you a ComptonMania shirt. If you want jerseys, we do special orders. It takes about a month to get here. It takes a minute, but you will get your jersey. Yeah. What else? Oh, I also have a Cameo set up. If you guys like, I got to finish setting up the page though, but I do got a Cameo. I'll do it by this week. Yeah, if you want to shout out for your birthdays, bar mitzvahs, somebody getting on your damn nerves, and you want Sho Tyme to go off on them, hit me up on Cameo. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think we have $15. You feel me? So all this stuff is just to help the brand. Yeah, that's all, man. That's all, man. We just trying to be able to continue to put on dope shows, and also last anniversary show we did a free show for the community, and we want to do more shit like that. Like, I just want people to come in and enjoy entertainment where they ain't got to worry about a lot of the negativity that goes on in the world. Yeah.
And you don't have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to all his social media, ComptonMania, everything he mentioned will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. Simply click the link, a new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. If you're in the SoCal area, buy a damn ticket. If you're not, give him a damn follow. And of course, buy a damn short.
Well, damn, James, you gonna punk him? Yeah. James, like, look, if y'all don't buy, James about to come kick your ass. He gonna bring Rilla Wolf, CTE, and Che. And Che lost 2 back-to-back. His muscles is hungry. Okay?
Oh yeah, you ready?
If I don't know if I'm kicking anybody's ass, but I am calling them out.
He's the manager. Yeah.
Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what they're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, but on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. Join us tomorrow as we interview Maddie, the American Baddie, and on Wednesday, Uncle Money. And then, obviously, every Tuesday and Wednesday, new incredible interviews. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on X, Dread, and Instagram. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Where can we find Kaliko Yachts?
On X at I am Kaliko. Told you I came out with the flu game for my man Sho Tyme.
Oh, the flu!
Alright, Sho Tyme. When I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Okay.
For our special guest, De'Shawn, Sho Tyme, Watkins, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment. Woozy.
Woozy. Love the woozy.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.